Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am really excited actually to be showing you what I think is probably the coolest cruise ship cabin that I've ever been into, and that's the 2-floor Duplex Suite, which you can find within the Yacht Club on MSC Virtuosa. So Yacht Club itself is something that is entirely new to me. I've mentioned it a few times before, but I tend to cruise on a budget, so luxury to me is getting a window, or real luxury would be getting a balcony. I tend to cruise on the inside of the ship, which in theory means that I can cruise more often, but luxury in Yacht Club means something completely different. Now this is essentially where MSC operate their ship within a ship concept. So you could go on for your cruise for a week, for however long you're on for, and you could, if you wanted to, spend your entire time just using the Yacht Club facilities. So if you've got a room in there, you get your own butler for your room, you get access to a bar and a restaurant that other people can't get into. You have a deck area which has got loads of sun loungers, it's got a buffet, it's got a bar, it's got hot tubs, it's got its own swimming pool, which I definitely couldn't believe when I saw that. And above all that, you also, when you go into the main ship, get other perks like priority seating in the theatre. So there's an entire section of the theatre that's just roped off for Yacht Club guests, which, yeah, seems fantastic. Now, personally, I have never cruised in there because when you look at the price of a Yacht Club inside cabin versus a normal inside cabin elsewhere on the ship, it can sometimes be 6, 7, 8 times the price, which I definitely could not justify. And that probably brings me on to my first point before we go and look at the room. Now, historically, I always thought that these private exclusive areas on a ship would only be for people who are staying in the Duplex Suite, which we're going to look at today, or the 2-bedroom suites, or the owner's suite. And it's really refreshing actually to see MSC doing this and offering people the ability to try that life but have an inside cabin. So you probably get a pretty similar, if not the same experience as someone who's staying in a 2-floor Duplex Suite if you're in an inside cabin, because you get access to all of the exact same facilities. And I guess when you're in the bar or in the restaurant or on the deck, no one actually knows what room you're in. So you could be in the owner's suite or you could be in the smallest inside cabin. It doesn't matter, I guess, once you're in. But hey, like, before we jump in and look at the room, if you find this video interesting, if you enjoy it, or if you'd like to see more, please think about subscribing to the channel, which you should be able to do directly under this video. It really does help, and I've got loads more from Virtuosa, from P&O, and from Virgin coming up over the next few weeks. But yeah, without further ado, let's have a look at the room. This is cabin 12008, which anyone that's familiar with that will know that it puts you on deck 12. Now, the strange thing about this is that Yacht Club actually spans across decks 14 all the way up to the top. So I did find it strange that you would have the second highest paying guests not in that private facility. But hey, let's look at the room. Now, we'll start off up here, which is up in the bedroom area. Now, up here there's, to be honest, not really that much to talk about except that view. You've got your bed, you've got your bedside lights that have got your USB connections on them. And then if you walk around to the front here, you'll get to see, yeah, what you're paying that money for, really. Now, my first question was, how on earth do you close these curtains? Because they are double heighted the size of the entire room. Now, that is literally just the push of a button, and that will close all the way over. And then you just push the exact same button and it'll open all the way back up again. Now you can do that from downstairs. There's a button down on the left hand side there where the curtain's closing to now, or you can do it where I was doing it from here, which is just directly underneath the bedside lights. Now, moving away from there, you've got 2 doors on the far side of your room. Now, on the left hand side, you've got your walk-in wardrobe. Now, I thought this was brilliant, and I could imagine if there was a few of you in here, this would be really, really useful. Loads of storage, full double length mirror, and you've got your safe in here. You've got a full kind of makeup station that's got more plugs on it as well. So that was a really, really good addition. And then in the other door, you've got your ensuite bathroom, which has got the real novelty, and I've actually never stayed in a room with one, but the real novelty of having a bathtub. So that's, to to be honest, the level of luxury that I will aim for, that at one point I can have a bath on a cruise ship. But yeah, haven't quite made that yet. Now the other thing that makes this room different to the others is just being in Yacht Club, you have, I guess, just better presented Yacht Club toiletries. So what you're seeing here is essentially the bottled version of what you've got in the other cabins. Now going back downstairs, you've got probably one of the best parts about this room, and it's this amazing deck that looks out over the front of the ship. Now we'll go out to that in a second, but just to show you around what's on the ground floor of this room, you've first of all got this sort of dining area here, so you could quite easily get room service and just have your dinner in your room if you wanted. You've then got a separate sofa area with a coffee table that looks directly across to where your TV and whatnot is. And then over on this huge workstation, you've got your coffee machine, your Zoe speaker. On this, for example, you had the water, you then had all your crockery. I actually thought that, considering the length of that desk, I was quite surprised they actually filled it all the way along with stuff. But underneath you've got more drawers, you've got various, I think they were cushion covers, but maybe they're napkins, not entirely sure. And then in this penultimate one here, you've got your minibar. Now the minibar is included for Yacht Club guests, so in other videos I would always kind of recommend getting that emptied, but in here, might as well leave it as it is. And then under here you've got, I guess, more storage under the desk, and you've also got your hairdryer as well. Worth noting that plug point wise, you have got your US plugs over on this side of the unit. You've got, well, your European plugs and a USB here, but both were being used at the time. And then walking over to here, you've got another bathroom. So I guess this would be perfect if you had people over and you didn't want them going upstairs to use the bathroom that you're using every day. You've got the luxury of an additional one here. Or if you use this room to sleep 4 people and you've got people sleeping on the sofa down here, then that would be their own bathroom on this floor as well. And round this corner, anyone that you would have on that ground floor would then have their own full storage area. So it's a kind of double wardrobe situation here, where on this side you've got loads of openings, we're going to call them, areas to store things, and then at the bottom you've got drawers that you can use as well. So an absolute ton in here. I would actually say the ground floor of this room has got more storage than what the entirety of my inside cabin had, which is great. Now, we said a minute ago that we were going to go out and look at this, are we calling it a balcony? Maybe we'll call it a terrace, I'm not entirely sure. But whatever you want to call it, it is so impressive. Now, it's maybe doesn't look amazing given the fact that we were sailing back to Southampton in England, but I can't even begin to imagine how this must feel in the Caribbean. It must be absolutely perfect. The only thing to note here is that you are right at the front of the ship, so you're looking directly out, essentially underneath the bridge onto the horizon. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the weather would be like here if you had rough seas, because typically at the front of the ship you do feel it moving more often, but hey, maybe that's just a cue that I have to go back and stay in this room and then I can actually tell you what it's like. Privacy wise, it's really good. You've got, that's your window up there, and then the little window to the right hand side, which I wouldn't imagine can really see in that room, is next door. So that was a quick tour of a 2-floor duplex suite on Virtuosa. Personally, I've never seen a cruise ship cabin like that before, but then I'm usually cruising on the inside, so slightly different experience for me. I know that a lot of other cruise lines also do offer that type of room, so probably the most famous one is on Royal Caribbean, where they also have the 2-floor duplexes as well, typically at the back of the ship overlooking the wake. Now, the room that you've just seen, you'll also be able to find that on the other ships that operate within the same class as Virtuosa. So what that means is basically when you look at the ship, there'll be a number of other ships that are identical to that. So Virtuosa falls alongside ships like Grandiosa, Bellissima, Meraviglia. These ships are all pretty much identical, so you should be able to find those rooms on all of them at least. Now over the next few weeks I have got content coming from Virgin, from P&O, from Marella, a few other cruise lines as well. So if you would hit subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic. And for now, that's it from me. So thank you so much for watching as always, and I will catch up with you soon. Great, thanks, bye.